So basically, I want to do this short video and kind of explain what I've learned in my biodigester construction journey, probably since 2016, when I became part of this industry. I have learned a few things. Obviously, from this channel, you can tell we have done a lot of videos that shows how to construct biodigesters and then how to also maintain biodigesters, other key mistakes, avoidable mistakes that you can also watch on this channel. And in this short video, it's part of a series of live videos that I intend to do. Not to waste time, I'm going to show you basically what I've learned in my biodigester construction journey right here on this channel. So the first key part or key thing that I have learned is that when it comes to biodigesters, people are quick to say this technology is not something they can trust. And I mean, for obvious reasons, it do make sense because it's not something we are used to, it's not something that we know of. It's only in the last decade that it has come up, not even in Africa, but in a few countries, and Ghana happens to be the lead in this field of trying to educate people that probably there are better ways of managing solid waste. And one of those means is the use of biodegradable biodigesters. Not necessarily the biogas type, which is also key when it comes to solid waste management, but the one that do not cost much and is easily done at the backyard of everybody's house. And it has also become a lot, people have gotten to know about it, basically because then either the government is involved in its promotion, the local assembly is involved in its promotion, and of course people like us are also involved in the promotion of this biodegradable biodigesters. So when people do talk to me, sometimes the question they ask is what the digesters are and how they work and whether it's something they can trust, it's something I will recommend for them. And the key comparison they are making, or the key comparison most people want to make, is whether, apart from the digesters, the septic tanks are also something they can consider for their dream house. And obviously, because I do promote biodigesters and I do talk about them, my first inclination is to tell them this is something you should consider. But I also want to say that there are some key conditions that if you are able to meet them, there's nothing wrong with doing a septic system. Not at all. Some key conditions must be met. And then an assessment can be done to tell you whether the septic system will actually work for you when you do construct them. Because the limitation for you constructing a septic system is that apart from the cost involved, there are other things that you might have to consider in terms of the land size, the space that you need, and a key indicator is whether the land is good. When you start digging, how many feet can you go before you meet the water table? If you are able to answer these questions and they are all in your favor, then septic tanks also work. They do work fine. And all of us grew up knowing septic systems as not the alternative, but like as this is it. This is what we are going to use to manage our solid waste. Of course, the other ones like the coverts and the manhole types, the cesspit pools that are all there that helps us. The only difference with us trying to let people know about the biodegradable toilets is the fact that these digesters simply manage the solid waste at your own backyard. You don't need any additional help from, let's say, a truck, or you don't need to send it to a landfill site, or you don't need to send it to a processing plant for it to be managed. It can all be done at your own backyard, in your own small way, in your own small container, especially knowing that the sanitation issue and solid waste management in this part of the world is very, very, it's a different story for us. So if you can manage your own thing in your own small way at your own backyard, then obviously there are a lot of advantages that can be gotten from it. I remember when we were in school and then we were sharing kitchen and a few other places like the bathroom. If you've been to some of these higher tertiary schools, you know that you have to share the kitchen or the living area. You will be told that the key condition for all of you living amicably and being happy and not fighting among yourself is that you clean after yourself. Whatever you do in the kitchen, when you finish, don't wait for the next person. Go ahead and clean your plates, sweep the place, and then at least tidy the sink or the kitchen sink, tidy it nicely for the next person. Or when you go to the washroom, they say, oh, clean after yourself, because then you don't want to leave it for the next person. So basically, that's what Biodigester is about. You are managing your own solid waste at your own backyard without the need for anybody helping you. And with the help of biodegradable agents, this can easily be done. So that's what we have been trying to promote for the past years, a decade or so, since this technology became very prominent in our part of the world. The key lesson I've learned is that what I advise people most of the time is that if you are constructing a biodigester, the most important thing you have to consider is not necessarily the solid waste, because that one can actually be managed, and the science that prove that solid waste can be managed through the use of chemicals and decomposition, and of course compost toilet and all those stuffs are there that shows there that solid waste can be managed. The problem is usually the wastewater. So whenever I talk about digesters, one of the key managers of solid wastewater is the soakaway. And people usually confuse it with the fact that is the soakaway for their grey water, that's the kitchen, the bathroom, and laundry rooms. And then I say that you might need that one, a bigger one for that grey water. But the black water, which is the water from the toilet, is what we talk about when we talk about biodigesters. Because we know that's usually people's biggest problem. If you have your property, the number one problem you have most of the time is the solid waste. Not necessarily the grey water or the water from the kitchen or the bathroom. Even though that's also key, because then that water is a lot, and that one must be managed efficiently. And that water can give you a lot of problems as well. But the key problem for you to move into any property is the solid waste. So if you do have an option to manage it, then obviously you know that half of your problem has been solved. So usually when we talk about soakaways, we are referring to the solid waste management wastewater, which we prefer to use soakaways for, right? So that's my key understanding when it comes to this, and that's one of the key lessons that I learned. So I always have to emphasize that the wastewater I'm talking about is key. How to manage it is key, and you do have options. The soak hole option is there. You do have the soak away option, which is what I prefer most of the time. You also have the bigger drainage. That's if there's a gutter, the wastewater can be filtered, and then it can do what? It can be dropped into it, basically. And then that will just seep away with other wastewater that has been allowed in the drainage system. So the problem with that is that it's best you kind of manage that water by doing enhanced filtration for it before you can let it go into the soakaway. Because let's say your digester is working and it's working well in about 3, 4, 5 years, and the filtration chamber becomes weakened, some of the solid might seep through that leachate pipe or that pipe that is being connected to the drainage system. And then it's possible it might lead to raw sewage passing through that. You do not want that. So one of the things I advise Biodigester constructors is get a filtration chamber done before the pipe goes into the bigger drainage or the gutter that you do have there. And that's key lesson that I've learned, that I've always been teaching for biodigesters. It's important you learn or you have the option of managing the wastewater. If you solve this problem of the wastewater the feces will biodegrade in that small chamber that you have doubt of. The feces will easily biodegrade and you will not have problem, because the moment the water leaves this digester, where it goes matters, and then the solid waste can be taken care of by the biodegradation materials that you have given it. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about in this video. It's a short one. This is a channel that I've dedicated to construction of biodigesters for homeowners who are interested in learning how to construct biodigesters, obviously, and using them as options in managing their solid waste. If you are new, you can subscribe and be part of us. And obviously, there are other videos we do have on the channel. I'll be doing a series of this video just to answer some of the questions that people have when they get to me, either on WhatsApp or on the channel. You can also leave your comment, and then obviously the next time I will come and I will look at it and then we can answer it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.